Well, in a perfect world, they're paying cash, they have the budget for it, but now we're going to
Hmm.
get into our third item on selling solar, and that's identifying the decision maker. Dave, can you touch a little bit on finding the decision maker and the importance of that step in the process?
Yeah, I've got to believe at the residential level, right? If you're talking to the homeowners, but I've got to believe 99 times out of 100, they're the decision makers. Every so often, I got to believe they might have a discussion with a neighbor. They might run it by I don't know, an accountant, an advisor, their parents. Right, but you want to make sure you're talking to the people that can make yes or no decisions. And commercially, when it comes to business decisions, I can see the the road getting a bit rocky where you're meeting with somebody that can tell you no, but can't tell you yes. Right? Somebody that is tasked with take a look at solar, see if it makes sense. Right? The boss says that. And somebody takes on the initiative and goes out and checks out solar, and they seem to be authoritative in their approach, but they can't make a decision. Those discussions need to have happen before anything moves seriously, right? And it's nothing more than a, can you tell me how decisions get made around here and who's involved? It's a real easy question, right? Again, it's a simple topic. It's not that easy to ask, right? You don't want to offend somebody, but boy, oh boy, how much work do you want to spend? How much time do you want to spend wasting on an opportunity that isn't qualified because that person isn't the decision maker? Have those conversations, and I'll tell you, I coach it this way every single time. How do decisions like this get made around here, and who's involved? That way, you're taking your person that you're meeting with. If it's his or her job to investigate solar, she'll tell you. Well, we do the work. We have an operations manager, and we have a president. We meet every other week, and we discuss these things. Okay, now you know there's an operations manager and a president that are above her that are probably going to help in the decision-making process, and we know it's not just her. So don't assume that it's one person and it's always the person that you're meeting with. And you don't need many examples of that. You get burned one time by working 4 or 5 months with somebody that you thought was the decision maker. You don't need to learn that lesson again. So have that discussion.
Yeah, absolutely not. And I've got to chime in here. You're absolutely right. On the commercial front, there might be multiple people. And on the residential front, for the most part, you're going to be talking to the decision maker. But something, Dave, that I ran into more than one time in the field, and I'm sure it's going to happen to me again in the future, is there might be I'm going to call this person an influencer in the decision.
Mm.
Now, normally in a family household, there is one person who is the idea person when it comes to the exterior and interior design of the home. And I once had a client refer to his wife as the solar committee. Now, he wanted solar really bad. She wasn't so sold on it. Now, I knew I had the decision maker, but I also needed to influence the wife as to the aesthetic of the solar, where we could and could not place it, to make sure that not only the client of mine who I was trying to sell to was happy, but then when I walked away, that the conversation that he was having with his wife didn't completely unravel the conversation that I just had with him, right? Because I already had him ready to sign the dotted line, but the wife wasn't so sure. So that's something that I would just like to point out is, hey, there might be another person in the background influencing the decision when it comes to a residential sale. Ask that question. Hey, is your partner, are they excited about going solar too? That would be the first thing I would ask. Oh, they might give you two different answers. Hey, she's actually not crazy about it. Or it could be a wife interested and the husband says, no, this is ridiculous. I don't believe in renewable energy. Find that out right away. There's no reason to not identify that right out of the gate, and have the conversation with all parties involved, just like you would on a commercial sale. Would you agree with that?
I love that. I would use that every time I met in a residential setting. I'd play it off as, is your house anything like ours where we make decisions together? Or is there a solar committee, right? And who's on that committee? I'd have fun with it, but the reason I'm having fun with it is to make light of a very serious topic that I don't need my time wasted. So play it in a way that you relate a story of your own. Is your house anything like our house where we talk about these things together because it's important to both of us? Oh no, you wouldn't believe it. This is way more important to my wife than it is to me. She just wants to, right? And then you're learning the entire way, right? Very good point, Nick.
Yep. No,
Really.
finding the right information as quickly as you can. That's probably the most important thing you've taught me. And obviously there's all sorts of information to find, but don't waste your time getting right to the point.